in case we need that. Okay, we are recording this tonight. That way, if anyone misses out, it'll be available for them to watch. Don't have a lot of you guys on. We've gotten the information out through Remind, I believe, also, Katie, the letter. Okay, so we sent out, it's a very lengthy letter. It's more words than I like to put on.
I'm sorry, I sent it out by email since it was long and there were 2 attachments.
Okay. So yeah, it's a lengthy letter, longer than what we like to put more words on a paper, but it does give all the information about parent volunteers. So that's available for parents to read tonight also. We are excited that we are bringing everything back to normal as far as parent volunteers on our campus starting Monday. So if you've been at Sundale for a while, you kind of know how that rolls. You may volunteer as long as the teacher has given permission. If you want to volunteer and it's not going to work out in the classroom that your child's in, please reach out to me, because we do have other areas that parents can volunteer in, or there could be teachers that are doing a project that could use the extra parents. So in the library, making copies once we get you trained, there's lots of different things that we can definitely utilize your help with. So just a few reminders, because it has been a while since we've had parents. Oh, you're checking them in, Katie? Okay. So just a few things that we want to go over. And I have my letter here in front of me because I don't want to miss anything. But just keep in mind, when you do volunteer on campus, the first thing you need to do is check in at the school office. So we'll sign you in, and we have a name badge, a little sticker name badge that you'll put on you. That way everyone knows that you're volunteering on campus. So that's kind of for safety protocol as well. So just know, if you don't have a badge on, a teacher or a staff member may stop you and say, hey, did you check in at the office? Because they just know that that's our protocol. Sorry, I have to let my dog out of the room. So check in. And then also we do provide lunch for parent volunteers. So if they forget to offer you a lunch ticket, please ask for that in the office. That's just to show you our appreciation for you volunteering on campus. You no longer have to be tested or show proof of vaccination, but we do ask, if you're having any symptoms or not feeling well at all, if you can please avoid coming on campus. We are doing this for the sake of our kids and for the sake of our staff. Our numbers have been very low. I think we've had maybe 3 in the last 5 weeks, Katie. So we want to keep those numbers low. We don't want to mess anything up for our kids. So we just ask for you to be respectful of any symptoms that you have, and please make sure to stay away. Also, dress code, Sundale dress code, and I have on the letter, just be appropriately covered. No, we ask that parent volunteers don't wear shorts or any ripped jeans. Try to just look as professional as you can. Our students do look at you as an additional teacher in the classroom. We do have middle schoolers on campus, so we want to make sure that we're properly covered as well when we're volunteering. And just know, Mrs. Ruppert and I don't want to have to go to you and embarrass you and ask you to go back and change your shirt or your pants. So just keep that in mind. You are working with students. We do ask that you look professional when you're on campus volunteering, as well as cell phones. So just as our staff will sometimes use their cell phones to set alarms and different things to remind them when students need to go out of the classroom or when they have yard duty. So you might see teachers on cell phones for those purposes, but we do ask that you are not on your cell phone, obviously, unless it's recess time and you're hanging out in the classroom, but we do ask that you avoid being on your cell phone or checking it while you're on campus volunteering. We like all the attention to be on our kids. We do have the parent room is there still for you. And I think everyone on is not new to Sundale, so you should be aware of our parent room. And so that's available to you. If kids are at recess, you want to take a break, definitely utilize the parent room. That is what it's there for. It's for you guys to utilize as much as you would like or need to. Now with having more parents on campus, I know sometimes one of the things we have, our parents start having conversations in the classroom with each other. So I just ask that you avoid that, or you step outside if there's something that you guys would like to talk about, because that does cause for interruption in the classroom. Most of our teachers have things set up for parent volunteers to automatically come in and be able to get busy with. But as you know, there's always students that could use an extra hand, or just sitting alongside of them, assisting them. But most of our teachers will have something set up for you. And once you begin volunteering, you'll have that communication with the teachers, and they might have a basket, or they may say, if you're going to be a regular volunteer, they may say, you're working with these kids at this table at 9 o'clock when you're here on Mondays and Wednesdays, or whatever it may be. So just communicate with your teachers to find out exactly what they would like to see you do in the classroom. But I will give you a heads up. Some of you have young ones that I see that are logged in. Sometimes it's not what's best for your child for you to volunteer in the classroom. And I know that's very frustrating as a parent, but sometimes we see students acting out. Your own child may act out when you're in the classroom. So if that's the case, then the teacher may be talking with you, and we may be looking for a different place for you to volunteer. I hope that doesn't happen for any of you, but we have had that this time of the year. I think the kids are pretty used to routines and have established that in the classroom. So there may not be a problem. It's more often we see that at the beginning of the year when that classroom's new for the students and the students are younger. So hopefully you guys don't have that, but do know if that does happen, then we may have to have you volunteering in a different area on campus. There is a lot of information that you learn when you're volunteering, as far as student academic information, student behavior information, and we ask that you keep that all confidential. If you're correcting spelling tests or whatever it may be, please don't go to the parent and say, your child missed 5. We just want to be respectful of the confidentiality of the students and keep that between the teacher and the parents, and the teacher to communicate that information to the parents, as well as discipline. If you're out and about and you see a squabble or hear something going on with students, please don't intervene. Go get a staff member and have the staff member take care of the discipline, especially if it pertains to your own child. I know as a parent, it's hard to kind of turn an eye or walk away when it's your own child, but we do ask that you don't get involved in those situations pertaining to your child or not in the area of discipline. The restrooms, that always comes up. What restroom do we use? So there are restrooms located on the north side of the parent room. They should always be unlocked. They should only be locked if there's someone in them. But every now and then the lock gets pushed in on the doorknob and then it stays locked. So please let us know if it's locked. Come into the office and we will make sure that it gets unlocked for you. But the restrooms that you will use are on the north side of the parent room. We try to protect the staff restrooms that are in between the staff lounge and the library for staff only. That's everything on parent volunteers. So let me answer any questions that you might have regarding parent volunteers, and then we're going to talk about student drop-off procedure. Any questions on volunteering? I do ask that you're respectful of those teachers that aren't quite ready for parent volunteers. Please respect that, but if you definitely want to volunteer and it does not have to be in your child's classroom, then give us a call in the office and we'll find a place for you. No one has questions regarding parent volunteers, so we start back up on Monday. It's not limited. The teacher can have 5 of you if they choose to. Okay.
I just want to say, if anyone was looking for that email with the attached letter, I apologize. My first email did not have the attachment. So when I opened up my email, I saw lots of responses about that, but I have resent that out now with the attachment. So now you can read the letter as well.
Mrs. Gist, I have a question real quick.
Yes, Amanda.
I just logged on a little bit late, so I'm not sure if you already went over this or not, but the parent volunteers, do they have to get COVID tested or not?
No, yeah, we did go over that, Amanda. No problem.
Sorry, I was a little late.
No, you're fine. You do not have to show your vaccine or get COVID tested. We just ask that if you're having any symptoms at all, that you please do not volunteer on campus.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. And then
Yes,
just,
thank
you know, communicate with your teachers. I want you to be mindful also that we're having state testing right now in 3rd through 8th grade. So as far as those grade levels, we definitely don't want parents volunteering during testing time. To be honest with you, it'll be very boring for you because you'll just sit there. So we can't have that at that time. And then as well as we get into administering district assessments, which will be happening in May. Those are times that teachers will probably ask that parents aren't volunteering during assessment time. So definitely reach out to your teachers, however you communicate with them, and ask if there's certain days, times that would benefit them most for you to be in their classroom. All right, any other questions? And Amanda, we are recording this as well, so you can always go back and listen to the pieces at the beginning.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So, and we greatly appreciate your guys' patience through all this. We're excited to be able to have you guys back on. We're excited to be able to have events where everybody gets to attend to, such as the play we had, the spring concert. It's been exciting to have all of you guys back on and enjoying everything that your children are doing. So, but thank you for your patience through all this. As far as drop-off procedure, we are, if you remember, back to normal, which I think all of you guys had kids when we were back to normal. You will be able to come on campus to drop off your student. I know for some of you who have young ones, you enjoy walking into the playground, whether it's kindergarten, TK, which is fine. We just ask that, as before, that you don't stick around. You know, sometimes it causes for students to get upset because they see that mom and how come my mom can't be here. So you can walk them to the kindergarten playground, and then we ask that you walk back out to the parking lot, and as well as any other classroom that you would like to walk your child to. And I do want to remind you, at 8:10 the bell rings, and that's when my teachers need to go and report to their students that are in line at the time the bell rings. So we told the teachers today, if the parent's talking with you, just blame it on Mrs. Rupert and Mrs. Gist. I need to go tend to my classroom. And our parents are great, but I know sometimes you want to grab them and chat with them about something with your child, but do know that they've got all of their students waiting in line. So we are asking our teachers to let you know that they can give you a call back later or email you. They need to go tend to their students. So I don't want you to take that as being a disrespect for my teachers. It is what we're asking them to do. And I think you guys would all understand that, because they need to get in the classroom and start working with your kiddos. So I would ask that of you. Let's see what else. I think that's everything with the drop-off procedure that we are going to start on Monday, that you can come on campus, you know, obviously park wherever you want to, and then you can walk your children on campus if you need to go to the office or whatever it may be. Lost and found is a big one, guys. Everything's being donated tomorrow. It is crazy the amount of stuff we have. So this gives you a little bit more flexibility to also come on campus and check out that lost and found if your children have lost anything. Now with the student pickup procedure, that is remaining the same. So we aren't inviting you to come on campus to pick up your children. You can remain, if you're primary, stand at the gate or come through the express lane. Or line up, however you're choosing to do that now. We ask that you continue to do that. It's a little bit more hectic to have parents coming on campus to pick up, trying to get all of our children to where they need to go, either bus or pickup or the learning center, and to have a bunch of parents on campus anxiously awaiting to see their children outside the doors makes it a little bit crazy. If you remember back when we were normal, that was a little bit more hectic. Although if you're volunteering on campus and you're volunteering in the afternoon, obviously if you're in your child's classroom and it's the end of the day, obviously you can take your child from the classroom. But if you're not volunteering in the classroom and it's the end of the day, then you may go to the parent room and your child can meet you there. So let's just say I'm going to use Lisa because she's got 2 kids. So let's say she's volunteering in her kindergarten classroom, Fenton's room. Then she takes Fenton, and then maybe Peyton meets her in the parent room. Okay. So if you've got multiple kids and they get out at the same time, obviously you can't be in all their classrooms at once. And we don't want parents roaming around the campus picking up their children. So take the child in the classroom that you're working with, and then have your other child meet you at the parent room. questions on that, or is that confusing to you? No questions? Lisa?
That's good, Cindy.
Okay. The other thing with pickup, and I know I talked to some parents today, what makes it difficult with parents being on campus for pickup is, we still have students on campus till 3:15, and our teachers may have them outside doing PE. And so then sometimes parents will pick up their children and then go to the playground and start playing. And then it's just very difficult for the teachers to keep an eye on their kids, plus seeing that there's additional students on the playground. So that's one of the reasons we ask that of you as well, which brings up the fact of the sports complex. So out at the sports complex, I know a number of you enjoy that play structure with your little ones waiting for your middle schoolers to get out. But we'll also ask that of you, that you avoid coming through the area from the parking lot. You're welcome to use the ponding basin down below, which I know during COVID, a lot of you guys would gather down there and your kids would play down there, and that's perfectly fine. But like, for example, right now our 4th and 5th graders are doing a kickball tournament. And so they're all out at the sports complex till the end of the day. So we can't have additional kids, siblings running around during that time. So we do ask that of you, even at the sports complex, that you stay outside the fenced in area by ag and that fence that goes into the sports complex. But you're welcome to use the ponding basin grass area to hang out. That's perfectly fine. You can bring chairs if you want to. I know during COVID, a lot of you guys would gather down there, and that's fine with us. Okay. Questions?
Cindy, I have a question then for the barn. Is it okay to be obviously in the barn and getting stuff, or what is the rules as far as inside the barn by Miss Puppies and the koi
training
pond and
post.
that stuff?
Okay, good question. So I'm glad that you brought that up, Lisa. So one thing we do not allow is for students to meet their parents out at the Ag Center. So when your student gets out, please don't ask them, I'll be at the trading post, or I'll be at the Ag Center, meet me there, because we don't want that. We want to make sure our students are supervised all the way to the pickup areas, and that is not an area that we supervise. So you're welcome to go get your child and then go to the trading post. That's not a problem, but we just don't want students meeting their parents out there, as well as we can't off at the trading post as well. Does that answer that, Lisa? Lisa, did I answer your question?
I'm sorry, Cindy, I am in a big group and it got really loud. I was just wondering, after you pick your kid up, then can you go over, for the parents who want to go over and hang out in the trading post? I know in the past, we were kind of restricted in the trading post and maybe not going into the koi pond or the goat area and walking around. So that was.
I misunderstood your question, Lisa. That's fine. Once you pick up your children, you can go there. Just be aware that we do have a 7th period class out there. So depending on what the kids are doing, you may not be able to hang out at the koi pond if they're weeding or whatever they may be doing. So just be aware of that. So we don't want to, have you guys be in the way of the students that are working out there, but otherwise that's fine.
Thank you. Sorry.
No problem. Any other questions? And maybe it's not a question about anything we've discussed. Maybe you have a question on something else that you'd like to ask, or Katie, Loopy, if there's anything I missed, please feel free to chime in. Miss Jamaica?
For the 3rd grade pickup, right now I'm having a little bit of a problem with kids, parents not crossing over from the parking area where all the cars are, and they're not necessarily waving at their kids to join them, but the kids just spot their parents and they just tend to take off.
Yeah.
I've had already 2 little scares where children are not looking out for the cars. So, and for some of those parents that I may sound disrespectful to them, I apologize, but I've been saying, parents, move over to the wall side, cross over. I'm allowing the kids to go to their parents, but by the wall.
So when you say by the wall, Miss Jamaica, you're talking about like outside of Mr. Bagley's room on that south side?
Yeah, the
The parking lot?
the
Okay.
classroom's 26.
Yeah. Kind of like what we were
and-
doing during last year as
Yes.
well. So, and parents, and I appreciate you sharing that, Ms. Jamaica, we do not allow our students to cross through the parking lot. And hopefully you understand that for safety reasons. So we do ask that parents come to the multipurpose room area, or as Ms. Jamaica is saying, to that south side of the parking lot, at least walk that way, and then we can shuffle your kids over to you.
Thank you.
And anyone using the express lane pickup, the same with that one as well. If you do not wish to get out of your car, make sure you use that express lane pickup lane and not go to a parking spot and expect your child to cross over.
Yeah, very good point. It's all about keeping your kids safe. Any questions on anything? Otherwise, we will wrap it up for tonight. Lisa, question?
No, I am good so far.
Amanda, anything from Amanda?
No, I think I'm good. That's pretty much everything. The only thing that's kind of an issue sometimes is the parking, the pickup where the little kids get picked up at 2:15, because everybody parks along where you're supposed to kind of pull out, to leave if you go in the parking lot.
Yes.
They park in those extended areas, and there's been a couple times where we've had to like get out of the car and tell people you can't park here because they literally don't pull in far enough, and then you can't get out. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to just explain, but
yeah. And we were
they're parking where there's no parking spots.
I know exactly where, and I know exactly where you're talking. Yeah.
So then when you do get in a parking spot and you back up to leave, you have to tell them to move their car because they're in the lane to the leave. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the only thing that's kind of an issue sometimes.
We were hoping when we restriped our parking lot that would avoid that, but
I know it's not all the time, but it does happen. Like I think last week there was like 2 or 3 cars, and then as soon as we would tell someone to move, somebody else would pull in, and park there. We're like, no, you have to leave. Like we can't get out.
And we've done, we've put cones up there before too, and then they'll just find another non-parking place to park in.
I know it's a busy time. It
is. We'll keep an eye on that, Amanda. But yeah, that's kind of one that we've been tackling for a while.
Yeah, and it's not a huge thing. I mean, I have no problem getting out and saying you need to move your car, but it's just
perfect. Yeah. No, that's what you need to do. Amenta, do you have anything? Amenta, any questions from you? No? Okay. Brad, anything from the Spulers?
Hanging out.
Okay, you're welcome to. And then is this Brandy Gomes?
Yes, it's me. I have no questions. I'm just
okay.
Like to hear the updates.
Yep, you're fine. And then how about Wilfongs? Anything from the Wilfongs? Okay, I guess that wraps it up then for you. I'm glad that you guys came on and excited, like I said before, to have you back on campus volunteering. Please communicate with your teachers and let us know if there's anything we can help you with.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you guys. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
You too. Bye. You too.
If the last thing, if anybody has any topics that they would like to see in the parent Q&As for next year, I don't think we've gotten any suggestions, but we are open to suggestions. So if anybody has anything.
Yeah, we would like to continue these. So just definitely let Terry, Katie, or I know if there's something you guys would like us to discuss. We can do them monthly or every other month. So just let us know. Otherwise, have a nice evening. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, guys. This is definitely great to listen and just see what's going on.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa.